the Matrix Resurrections embargo has been lifted, and already we have the opinion of all those critics. Of course, we also have the opinion of the shell media, and of course, we are all waiting for its release so that the fans can also say whether it is good or not. But amidst this chaos, we have people that say that it is good, that it is a great film, that it is a worthy successor to the original trilogy, and they are comparing it. Yes, they are comparing it, saying that it is akin to The Last Jedi. And of course, on the other side, we have people saying that it is terrible, that it sucks, that it's a horrible, horrible sequel, and also fans that, like me, if they hear that any movie is compared to The Last Jedi, then we just want to steer clear from that crapfest, because that's what The Last Jedi really was all about. It was a crapfest. So if you have another movie being compared to The Last Jedi, you can only expect it to be exactly that, a crapfest. In this case, all those people that are saying that this is the Last Jedi of the Matrix franchise, I think they are a little bit wrong. I consider that this movie is more the Rise of Skywalker of the Matrix franchise. And if you want to know why I think that, just continue watching, but be warned that this is going to be filled with spoilers for the Matrix Resurrections. If you do not want to know anything about this film, then this is the moment in which you click away, go to your nearest theater, watch the movie, and then come back here and see if we all agree on what I am going to say about this film. So, without further ado, let's dive into the crapfest that is The Matrix Resurrections. Now, the movie begins with Neo being now once again Thomas Anderson, and he is working now for a gaming company, a video game company, and he is in charge of developing a series of video games called The Matrix, based primarily on his past life as Neo. And once he finds out that he is the chosen one, well, he has to be with his new team trying to defeat this new architect, which is not really the architect that we saw from the past. It is Neil Patrick Harris playing a psychiatrist, Neo's psychiatrist, by the way. And we have all of this nonsense about there being not only one but two. Yes, two chosen ones. You see why I say that this is more akin to The Rise of Skywalker? Do you remember all that, the dyad idiocy that we had from The Rise of Skywalker, you know, where Kylo Ren and Rey make up this dyad, you know, in the Force or whatever crap they mentioned in that stupid script? Well, we have something similar in this case. The reason that Thomas Anderson is back, the reason that Trinity is back, albeit with another name also, like Tiffany, well, it is because the architect, which is the psychiatrist in this case, wanted them to continue being alive because apparently he needed them for keeping the Matrix going or some stupid crap like that. Yeah, like that, you heard it here. And also, he says that it cost him a lot of money to keep them, and that their little rebellious act was also quite expensive, which makes me wonder how the fuck a machine or a series of machines would be interested in money at all if they don't really need it. But anyway, I digress on that part. That should tell you, however, how idiotic and how forced this script really is, and of course that makes the movie suffer. Anyways, apparently, it is needed that both Neo and Trinity are still alive and around for the Matrix to continue going. So, once Thomas Anderson is awakened once more into his Neo persona, he cannot do things on his own, and he has to call for Trinity's aid, and in doing so, of course, also awakens this persona in this Tiffany girl, who also moved on with her life, has children, has a husband, And Thomas Anderson is pretty much a lonely bastard surrounded by these agents. You remember the agents from the Digital Matrix? Well, the Agent Smith is actually Anderson's boss in this company, which, by the way, was bought by Warner, who are making the video games. But this is telling you how idiotic this is. It tries to be, sort of self-aware of its own, let's say, limitations, and also how it was perceived around the world. But the reality is that it makes for goofy moments, such as that video that has been circulating around Twitter. I hope that you had seen it, in which Neo is confronted by Morpheus in this sort of restroom, and he's given the choice of using the red pill, and the character of Neo, Keanu Reeves, goes crazy and no, and all that stupid shite that is cringe-inducing, and it's really not that fun. And yes, even though it is convoluted, the story is convoluted, it is actually quite light-hearted if you compare it to the original trilogy. So you can see that they are trying to go for the goofy style that, unfortunately, and I say this with all the intention, the Marvel Studios made so popular with their own stories and with their own idiotic takes on their own characters. And everything now has to be goofy because apparently Hollywood can't understand how successful movies really work, and that makes me also wonder how they are still around after all this time. But anyways, I digress once again. The idea here is that in the Matrix movie, this new Matrix film, we have this Neo trying to relearn and recover all those past memories which are getting suppressed by the psychiatrist, who is now the new architect, by being given this blue pill. And so, even though he still knows Kung Fu, even though he still has these abilities, they are rather dormant, he has to awaken them once more. So he's not flying, he is not doing all this stuff right away, right off the bat, and he has to take some time. Actually, he looks rather untrained, he looks a little bit slow, because he has to readjust to all these things that he used to have. Conversely, when Trinity is awakened, she can fly right off the bat. So we have again this Merisu complex. So even though it is not 100% accurate, that leak or that information that was running around that said that now Trinity was going to be the one, it is actually true, because it's not the one, it's the two who are going around and are having adventures once again, and of course are needed to be keeping everything in line. According to the movie, 60 years have passed between what we saw in the last movie and this new movie. And in all that time, a new city called Io, no apparent relation or any intention of it being associated to Apple or in any way, shape or form, but this new city is once again fighting against the machines, and of course there is need for Neo to be helping around and all that, but he's not doing it alone, he's doing it with Trinity again. So Trinity is all over the place as also the chosen one, that Neo cannot be Neo without Trinity, and I think that was somehow stated and quite clear in the original trilogy, but with a different perspective and a different focus. We knew that there was only one chosen one. We didn't know that there were going to be two. What we knew was that in order for him to be capable of doing all this wonderful stuff, he needed some motivation, and of course behind that was none other than Trinity. Also, we know that she was a skillful fighter. We also knew of her abilities, but to now go that way, and well, because she is also a chosen one, she can also fly. I think that it also makes for the rest of the trilogy to become a little bit numb, to become a little bit null and not quite coherent as it was. And it was quite difficult for the original trilogy to be all that gelled and coherent in the first place, and now with this I think that it is also going in even more incoherent. As for those that say that it is the best film or a worthy sequel, I don't think that it is the case. Others say that this is a terrible film and that it looks like The Last Jedi. It is a terrible film. It is not, if you are a fan of The Matrix, something that you would like to watch. And I advise all those that are The Matrix fans to just keep your memories of what was before. I mean, we all know that the second and the third parts of the trilogy were not that good. We know where they went and how that turned out to be in the end. But I think that it is much better than this fourth movie. And as I have said already, it is not really like The Last Jedi, it is The Rise of Skywalker. And if you watched that movie or learned about what it was all about, then you know what you are in for. In any case, as you know, this is only my opinion, so let me know yours down below in the comments and tell me whether you are interested in watching this film or if you don't want to watch it at all and give it any chance. Until next time everyone, peace out.